Elizabeth, we saw this program in 2012 in the final, but this is the real version. We're getting below parallel 63 times tonight.
In lane number 3 is Alex.
Squat cleans, yes. Those members asking me on the whiteboard, they are squat cleans today. And if you knew, you know, because if you look at the parallel bars on the other side of the competition floor, this is nothing new if you have been a part of this community in the last 20 years.
Let's send it down to Nikki Brazier.
Well, benchmark workouts are the absolute foundation of CrossFit. We love the opportunity to test and then retest these elegant pieces of programming, and we like to kick it up a notch for the elite athletes as well. And over the course of our game's history, we have seen 11 traditional benchmarks programmed and another 14 variations tonight. This is number 15.
First of 4 heats for the women. Caroline Spencer will be in lane number 4.
Got you.
She and her husband, Austin, competing together here. The 5th married couple in games history to compete together at the CrossFit Games.
Caroline Spencer, one of those being able to qualify for her 2nd year, as you said. They've been putting off their honeymoon until after the games. They got married right before the semifinal season started.
Here we go, the set of 21. Yes, they're squat cleans.
Yes, they're squat cleans. All you guys that watched the CrossFit Games final in 2012, you got duped. There's never been power cleans involved when you talk about Elizabeth, the benchmark workout, 21:15.9, but we are at the CrossFit Games, so we're gonna tack another 9 and 9 at the end.
Athletes will advance the barbell every 7 reps.
Right now, in the lead here in lane number 4.
Caroline Spencer is out early along with Sydney Mikulishin, Christine Kohlenbrander, and Sol Sigurdardottir in front early in the set of 21. Sydney Mikulishin is on her final set of 7. There's Caroline Spencer on her final set of 7.
Everyone we talk to that have demoed this on the demo team has expressed that there's not a lot of time to waste in an event like this. So going touch and go on the cleans in set 3 sets of 7 is almost a must if you're going to get at least underneath the time cap at minimum. At best, if you want to get yourself back up closer in those later heats.
Sydney Mikulishin on the bottom left-hand side of your screen is first to the parallel bars, and Caroline Spencer behind her. Now Christine Kohlenbrander making her way to the parallel bars, and we were talking about this earlier. A lot of you heard it, but this is nothing new.
No, it is not. In fact, 10 years ago, you can even find this on YouTube. You have Jace Khalifa explaining this test that they had called the man test. The problem is 10 years later, I'm pretty sure all of these athletes can do them better than the guys that were taking this test. And what it was a traverse back and forth across the parallel bars. 5 down to 1 on each end, and you had to walk backwards. And this was a decade ago. If you ask Greg Glasson back in the day, there was a pair of these in his gym, and he would say there should be a pair of these in every gym around the world. And that was 20 years ago. You can scour the journal and find a lot of other references to this movement. And here, my point is, like, we're used to the rings. The rings are objectively more difficult than this. However, the traverse is a big twist to the dip portion of this event.
Have to complete all 7 reps as Christine Kohlenbrander goes back to the barbell for her set of 15. If you come off the parallel bars in the middle of a set, you have to walk back, as you see Sydney Mikulishin doing on the left side of your screen, traverse back and begin the set again. And Christine Kohlenbrander, the only woman on her set of 15 squat cleans.
Kohlenbrander definitely known for her max strength. Decent power output as well. Not so much the upper body pulling endurance, but definitely showing she has the pressing stamina in that first set of 21.
Kohlenbrander and Alex Gazana, your top 2 athletes. Gazana's in the bottom left-hand part of your screen. Freya Moosbrugger sits in third place, with Sung-Young Choi and Caroline Spencer inside the top 5.
A lot of different techniques, some touch and go on the right side with Kohlenbrander, 2 or 3 reps at a time, singles on the left side from Alex Gazan. Even the Freya Mosberger to the right of Kohlenbrander. Not necessarily a wrong or right way to do it, because you got athletes that singles is the fastest that they can go. Whereas they ripped off, say, a set of 7, set of 5, 7-3 unbroken, it would actually end up making them slower on the backside.
Kohlenbrander is done and heading back to the parallel bars for her set of 15 dips. Wild Protein Chips, the official protein chip of the Noble CrossFit Games. Order online or find them nationwide at Whole Foods, Sprouts, and select Target locations. They're also available regionally at Costco, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant, select Albertson Safeway locations, and King Soopers.
Kohlenbrander looks very good on these dips. Now the question is it worth resting a bit more in hopes to get this unbroken with the traverse, as you see Kohlenbrander on the left side of your screen? It doesn't have to be unbroken. We saw that in the previous event where unbroken was the key element of that test. But they do have to go back to the starting point if they are to break any of these sets of 5. So at minimum, the sets of 5 need to be unbroken. If not, they have to go back and do the traverse. And this traverse is much more taxing than it appears on screen. And the big taxing element is the top of that dip, the lockout, the press out. And so he said is playing the game between resting a little bit between sets or pushing yourself to the edge a bit and trying to do those sets unbroken, if not running back and trying to traverse again and get any reps you didn't do on the first part.
Christine Kohlenbrander now onto her first set of 9 squat cleans, 126 total scored repetitions in this event. Kohlenbrander threw 75 of those. Alex Gazan, Sung-Young Choi, Freya Mosberger behind Kohlenbrander. Sola Sigurdardottir has moved into 5th. A 12-minute time cap in this event, and we were talking to Adrian Bosman earlier today going through this event, and he said that the time cap forces the athletes to go faster than they may want to go to finish the event.
And it's a bit of a different time cap that we saw in event 1 to start the day, where the time cap was long enough that everybody had an opportunity to get in their 5 miles, their toes to bar, and their chest to bar pull-ups. Well, almost everybody. Everybody who could count to 5 did it all. But this time cap, much tighter. And we've seen this in the past where sometimes the time cap becomes an element of the test, where the time cap is a bit of a pressure cooker. It forces the intensity of an event. And if you don't have that from the beginning, you're not going to finish.
Kohlenbrander's through 87 of the 126 scored reps here. Now onto her final set of 3 in this first of 3 rounds of 9.
As you said, it's Elizabeth plus plus, and that's +9 and +9 on the backside. And it's interesting to think is that you look at 21-15, 9-9-9, but when you break it apart like this, it's a weird like 21-15, 27. Just those 9 rounds go so quick, so you don't really have as much break between the bar and the parallettes as you did earlier in the event.
Christine Kohlenbrander all by herself in first place. Freya Mosberger, the right side of your screen, just finished up her first set of 9 squat cleans. Less than 4 minutes to go before we hit the time cap.
She's got that R next to her name. That R means that they are in their rookie appearance here at the 2022 Noble CrossFit Games. It's the first time they've made their way to Madison, Wisconsin. So whenever you see those R's on the leaderboard, that's what it's letting you know that they are a rookie. We've seen all day long rookies stealing some shows.
Final set of 3 for Kohlenbrander on this middle set of 9, and now she moves back to the parallel bars. 99 of those 126 scored repetitions.
Making her way back to the parallel bars for another set of 9 dips.
Kohlenbrander, the only woman in the second round of 9. Everyone else is
Makes her way across.
in the first one.
Let's go ahead and get behind all these athletes. You guys put your hands together. Let's give them a boost. Let's give them a cheer.
Kohlenbrander's use of the parallel bars. She's a former level 10 gymnast. Qualified out of the Syndicate Crown. She finished 5th earlier this year in Knoxville during the semifinals. Alice Gazan and Sung Young Choi are now into their second rounds of 9.
1, 2, and 3, ladies and gentlemen. 9.5 minutes to go.
See, Kohlenbrander taking a bigger break here. It's different than, say, breaking a 7 or 5 and having to go around, but you definitely don't want to have to break a set of 3. That is a lot of extra work relative to the designated work that you have to do to run back around and go do that traverse again.
Kohlenbrander back to the barbell for the final time. 9 more reps here.
Josh, we're at the 10-minute marker, so athletes, you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes remain.
Alice Gazan is on her second set of 9 on the dip portion, as is Sung Young Choi. So Sigurdardottir has moved into 4th now. She's creeping up.
She's got 3 more cleans to go. And ladies and gentlemen, 9 reps.
90 seconds for Christine Kohlenbrander to get inside the time cap. She has 9 dips that she needs to complete in order to do that.
1 minute and 20 seconds to go before that time cap hits.
Let's cheer on as Kiki keeps an eye on the clock. Christine makes her way. And she's got 2, maybe got 3 reps in. 6 more reps to go. 1 minute remaining.
Athletes, you have 1 minute. 1 minute.
Alex Gazan is now moving back to the barbell for the final time to start her last set of 9.
Making her way back to the other end of those parallel bars.
Kohlenbrander on her second set of 3 here.
And 3.
Able to get through those, and now 3 final reps, 45 seconds before we hit the time cap.
4 reps to go. Come on, Madison. Make some noise for her. Christine
Gonna make sure she's ready to go.
making her way across those parallettes. Her hands, both hands past that red line.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Kohlenbrander's done it, and she will finish and take heat 1. 11:37.19 seconds for Christine Kohlenbrander.
She gets it done in a time of 11:37.
Here's Alice Gazan just trying to get as many reps as she possibly can before the time cap hits. This is her final set of 9.
Counting down in 3, 2, 1, and time.
Kiki, those parallel bars are no joke.
Christine Kohlenbrander, the only woman to finish inside the 12-minute time cap
Ladies and gentlemen, one more
in
time. Make some
heat number 1, sets the early time to beat at 11:37.19 seconds.
Kohlenbrander a steady start on the first 21 cleans and made her move on the 21 dips off the parallel bars. And once she got to the round of 15, it was pretty much smooth sailing from there. Nobody was able to get in contention, even push her towards the end. And for Kohlenbrander, a bit of a blessing and a curse when it comes to that. When you're leading the heat in heat number 1, you really don't know how to push